first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, then welcome back. My name is Stasia and I'm following a high-carb, low-fat, oil-free, plant-based diet based on the recommendations of Dr. John McDougall's book called The Starch Solution. If you guys saw my last video, then you might remember me saying that my bunny chewed my microphone, and unfortunately I'm still waiting on Amazon to bring the new one, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I am filming at night for a change. I thought I'd do it while the kids are sleeping, so we have a little bit more quiet, so hopefully hearing me is not an issue, and I promise a new one is coming. Okay, so for today's video, I want to give you guys a progress update, talk about some of my challenges that I've been having and some things I plan on doing a little bit different and why, and some of my upcoming goals for 2021. I've been really looking forward to having this conversation with you guys, so let's just jump into it. Okay, so for any of you guys who have been following me, then you know that I usually weigh myself about once a month or so. So it's probably been about a month and a half now since I've weighed myself, and here's the reason why. I can feel that I have been fluctuating in my weight, and I am actually scared to weigh myself because I am almost certain that either I have not lost weight or even worse, that I possibly gained. Based on how my clothes are fitting me, I'm gonna guess that I'm still hovering around my initial 12-pound weight loss, but I just don't want to step on the scale and have the scale say something to me that I do not like and have it derail me or just leave me feeling defeated. I've been telling myself and telling you guys from the start that this is not just about a weight loss journey for me or a number on a scale. It's about how I feel overall. It's about learning to finally fully transition to a lifestyle that I can stick with. In the past, it's always been just about the number, always. So I'm trying really hard this time to not make it so much about the number. Don't get me wrong, it's very exciting when that number tells me something I want to see, but I just don't want it to be the only thing that dictates this experience for me. So I hope you guys aren't too disappointed that I don't have an actual number for you guys today. I don't even have one for myself, but I personally just feel like it's better for me that way to just keep on keeping on. I've been feeling really good. My husband tells me I've been looking pretty good, so I'm just gonna roll with that for right now, and come January, I will definitely have a check-in point with the scale, but for now, we're just gonna leave it at that. All right. So any of you guys who have been following me from the start, you'll probably remember me saying in many of my videos that I promise to always keep things real with you guys. I am just a little over 3.5 months in with my channel, with my weight loss journey. So today I really want to talk to you about some of the things that I've been having some challenges with. And maybe if you're having some of the same challenges, this will help you as well. I have never, nor will I ever, pretend to be perfect. Just because I'm on YouTube, please never mistaken that for being some kind of superhuman woman. No, anybody on YouTube, we are all just the same. I have my issues, I have my challenges, just like the rest of you guys. And I've always wanted to be open about that and transparent. I have been on the other side of this. I mean, I'm still on the other side of this. I'm still a consumer of YouTube and other things as well. So for me, I find it very, very frustrating to follow somebody, you know, that I look up to, and it just seems so effortless, so flawless. And I'm like looking at myself saying, well, what's your problem? Why is this so difficult? You know, so I promised myself and I promised you guys that I just really wanted to keep this real and have a space that was open for you guys as well to keep it real. So I really hope that that's okay with you guys and that you appreciate this angle and that it's okay that I don't come across as some perfect, flawless influencer. All right, so what are my challenges? Well, the first challenge that I've been facing is that I'm the only one in my house that eats like this. So while I do feed my kids mostly the same diet as myself, they have their extra stuff too that obviously is not on plan. So cooking for the kids, sometimes cooking for my husband, although our diets are very, very different, so we tend to just cook for ourselves and sometimes cook for each other. It has been a challenge because I still have these other things in the house. I honestly can't imagine how much easier it would be if I didn't have these other foods in the house, because a bite here or a bite there, that adds up over time. So with that being said, I mean, the husband and the kids are not going anywhere. So it's just something I'm gonna have to work through, but that is something that has been a bit of a challenge for me and I'm going to have to make more of a conscious effort to work through that. So another challenge that I've been dealing with is I am a stress eater, as most of you probably have heard me say in my other videos. And let me just let you in on this little bit of information. Running a YouTube channel and having thousands of eyeballs watching you while you are on a weight loss and health journey, it just adds a little bit more stress to everything. Like, no pressure or anything. And don't twist my words or take it as complaining, because I love my channel and I love you guys. I love sharing this with you guys, and even more, I love hearing about all of your guys' experience, especially in my Facebook group. And if you're not in it, what are you waiting for? The link is in the description box below. But nonetheless, life can be stressful, and I turn to food when I'm stressed. So this is another thing that I have to consciously work through. Okay, so another challenge I've been dealing with is late night eating. So for me, it's not exactly about the eating out of boredom thing. I've been having my dinners really late. So I just find that I'm usually not hungry around our dinner time, which is usually like 5 or 6 or so. So I feed the kids, I do the whole, clean up the kitchen routine, get the kids to bed, and then I've been having my dinner after that. So I don't know, I think my routine is just kind of off balance. And I don't know if that's affecting my weight loss or not. I'm not sure. But anyways, I would like to see myself eventually get out of this routine and stop having so much food so close to going to bed. Oh yeah, and the other problem I have with nighttime eating is that I'm a night owl. I'm always up late. So the later I stay up, the hungrier I get again. And so, mind you, I have been doing pretty good with the late night snacking per se. I'm not eating a ton of snacks at nighttime. I will stick to something healthy. It's just the eating at nighttime. I guess that's just bothering me, and I'm not sure if that's going to have an impact on my weight loss or not. So that's just something that I feel that is a bit of a challenge for me and something that I would like to see change. Okay, so this next challenge is pretty specific to the starch solution. I feel like I've been hungry. So not when I'm eating a meal. I feel really full when I have my starches and my non-starchy veggies, and I feel like really good after I've eaten my, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But then it's like 2 hours later or so, it's almost like I feel like I ate nothing. So I'm either going back and I'm eating more starch, or I'm snacking. For me, sweet potatoes and brown rice do keep me fuller longer, but when I'm just eating the potatoes, which are my favorite, I feel that those burn off really fast for me and leave me feeling kind of hungry shortly after. So with that being said, it's kind of the snacking in between meals that I want to improve on. So I'm going to be trying to figure out a way that I can feel satiated for a bit longer so that I can curb all of the snacking in between the meals. Okay, so this last challenge I want to talk about, I think is really worth having an open conversation about it. It's something that I've really had to kind of go inside myself to see where the issues are coming from. So this one I really wanted to talk about. I find that I've been kind of obsessing over food, like what I'm gonna eat next, what I'm gonna buy next, what I'm gonna cook next, and just find that it's a little bit consuming and maybe taking the joy out of it a little bit. I have definitely had issues in the past with orthorexia, and so it's really important for me to find the balance in all of this. I started this journey saying that it's not about being perfect. You guys might remember me saying that a lot in a lot of my earlier videos, and encouraging you guys to not feel that kind of pressure to be perfect, and that I was going to allow myself the flexibility to kind of follow this at like a 80 to 90% level, allowing for a little bit of flexibility in this way of eating, so not to put the pressure on myself, when in fact it feels like I've actually done the complete opposite. I constantly feel like there's a lot of pressure on me to do it perfectly. Again, I don't know if that's because I have thousands of eyeballs watching me as I do this journey, but still, I just feel like that actually has an adverse effect. The more I put the pressure on myself to do it perfect and stay, within the limits of this way of eating, then the worse off I do. That is the very thing that can push me to stress eat or binge eat or eat something off plan. The more pressure there is, the worse I do. I've always been an all or nothing person when it comes to my diet. So whenever I've started a new program or, calorie counting or dieting of any sort, any type of restrictive eating, It's very easy for me to fall into this very rigid way of eating, and if I step outside of that even for 1 second, I feel like I've blown it all, and it just actually causes me to spiral. So I saw this awesome YouTube short from the channel Highway to Healthy. Hey girl, if you're watching this, just know I watch you too. And it just spoke to me so much that I had to share it with you guys. She said in one of her YouTube shorts, which are the 60-second or less videos that are on YouTube now, she said something along the lines of, I don't even want to think about how much weight I've gained in my lifetime waiting to start my diet on Monday. And when I saw that, I just thought, yes, like that couldn't be more true if it tried, right? Like seriously think about that, how much weight we've possibly gained waiting to start on Monday. And so here's the thing about the high carb, low fat, plant-based, oil-free way of eating, is that it's not a diet. This is a lifestyle. So with that being said, we have to enjoy it. We have to transition in a way that works for us, right? So for me, doing something at a 100% level, being extremely rigid, that is my old way of doing things, but that's not the way that I want to do it now. So in order for it to not feel like a diet and more about transitioning to a healthier lifestyle, then we have to be gentle to ourselves along the way. If we eat something that is technically not on program or part of the rules, we need to learn to not, have that voice come in our head that says we ruined it all, or what were you thinking, or, all this negative self-talk. Food is just food. What we need to do is take the proper steps to be gentle and to just say, okay, I had this, I enjoyed it. And my next meal, I'm going to kill it. My next meal is going to be very healthy because I want to put healthy food in my body. We need to change our self-talk and the way that we look at food as good or bad. We just need to look at it as food, or how we look at ourselves regarding food, whether we've been good or bad with our food. I personally want to transition to eating this high carb, low fat, oil-free, plant-based diet in more of an intuitive way versus a hard rules way. But the little secret here is that nobody's placing those hard rules on us but ourselves. Now, some of you need the strict guidelines or prefer the strict guidelines, and that's okay too. But there's a lot of us, I feel, that it actually can cause the opposite effect. For me, I want to lose my extra weight. I mean, I don't even have a ton of extra weight to lose, but even if I did, more importantly, I want to be healthy, and that includes having a healthy relationship with food. This has truly been such an amazing journey for me because I am just learning so much about myself. And one of the takeaways for me that I'm finding is that weight loss is so much more than just the food we put in our mouth. And if it wasn't, why have so many of us done every diet out there 1,000 times over and we're still in the position we're in? Because if we haven't changed the way that we think about food, the way that we think about ourselves when it comes to food, our relationship with food, whether that be stress eating, binge eating, late night eating, all the different issues that we deal with, if we haven't changed those things and figured out our root cause for the way that we are, then we're just going to keep gaining the weight back as soon as we fall off the diet or the program because we haven't fixed the root problem. So, figuring out what to eat, and I think we can all agree that a high carb, low fat, oil-free, plant-based diet is the best way to eat for health and weight loss, is the first step. And then from there, we need to figure out our whys, we need to figure out our triggers, we need to figure out solutions for those triggers. There's a lot more that goes into it. So my advice to you is to please be gentle with yourself. And that's what you guys are going to be seeing in me, because this is my journey and this is what I'm really trying to do, is transition to a healthy lifestyle via a high carb, low fat, oil-free, plant-based diet, as well as building a better relationship with food and a better relationship with myself. Truth is that I feel like I can't be the only one that is going through some of these things. So I think it's important that we have an open conversation about this stuff. And as women and men, that we approach weight loss and getting healthy as a mind, body, and soul thing, rather than just the food we put in our mouth. All right, so who is excited about saying goodbye to 2020 and starting fresh with 2021? I know I am. I am so excited to be implementing some new things starting January, and I'm excited to share with you guys. So my first goal is going to be to preload on fruits or veggies as often as possible before my meals. Both Dr. McDougall and Dr. Greger recommend doing this, and this is something that I have not been that great with, like I was saying before. So I've been kind of going to my starches first and going to my starches second. So that's going to be a personal goal of mine, to make sure that I'm really preloading on the veggies or fruit. So that's going to be a goal come 2021 for me, that I give more attention and focus to doing that. So another goal / change that I'm going to start implementing is to add a small amount of fat to each of my meals. Now, this might sound counterproductive for some of you based on Dr. McDougall's recommendations in terms of really restricting or limiting your fat when you're in the weight loss period. But for me, I just want to try it out. I feel like if I have just a small amount of fat with each meal, maybe not every meal, but most meals, I want to see if that helps with feeling a little bit more satiated and just my meals feeling a little bit more balanced. Now, I'm not following the maximum weight loss version, so the starch solution does allow for minimal fats. I'm talking whole food plant-based fats such as avocado or a little bit of nuts and seeds or flax seeds. Now, I must say that these foods are not trigger foods for me. So I could have one walnut and not crave anymore. I could have the tiniest piece of avocado and be totally fine with that. So I will still be following a very low fat diet, but just the original starch solution. And for me, I can add a little bit of these foods in because they're not trigger foods. For those of you that follow Planiful Kiki, in one of her more recent videos, I think maybe within the last couple of months or so, she talks about this a lot as well, and she really feels that it won't hinder weight loss in any way, and it's something that she's doing now. So she, I think, said that she's doing about 1 ounce of nuts a day, which she measures out, 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, and about 1/4 to 1/2 of an avocado, a small avocado. So I'm going to take those guidelines and start to implement that into my meal, because you need to realize that it's still very low fat, it's still oil free, and it's still plant-based. So I want to give that a try because those fats do offer a lot of nutrition, and I want to also see if they offer anything in terms of feeling more satiated. Another thing I want to touch on is, as far as the pleasure factor goes, I do find that I enjoy my salads with a little bit of a nut-based dressing. So if I carefully measure out my 1 ounce of nuts, I would be happy to use that in a dressing and call it a day. So again, nuts are not an issue for me. So all of my meals that I provide for you guys, I will make it so that you can easily swap out the nuts for something else if you are following the maximum weight loss version, or you just don't want to have the nuts in it. I'll always have another option for you to be able to eat it a different way if you do see nuts or seeds or avocados in my meals, so you won't have to worry about that. Flaxseed is so good for women in particular, for hormonal health, for omega-3s. The list goes on. Flaxseed is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So it's something that I do want to start including for health purposes. And let's be honest here, nobody's overweight because they ate too much flaxseed. So I really don't personally feel that it's going to be an issue for me if I mix it in my oatmeal or something like that. So those are things I'm going to start implementing in January. And obviously I will be sure to update with you guys and let you know how that's working out. If it's helping at all with my weight loss, if it's hindering my weight loss, if I like it, if I don't like it. So I will update after a little while of following that. Another goal for 2021 is to start including some green tea in my diet. Now, you probably all know that there's a lot of health benefits associated with green tea. It's even been associated to help in weight loss. I don't know if that's true or not, but either way, it is known for its health benefits, so it's something that I would like to start including in my diet. Now, I'm not particularly a lover of green tea by any means, but I would like to challenge myself to try to start including it and at least give it a month or so and see how it goes. So again, that's something that I will definitely update you guys on and see how I like it and if I stick with it. The fourth goal for 2021 is to start incorporating more daily juicing. Again, no hard rules. I'm not going to say every single day I have to have juice, but it is something that I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more often than what I've been doing. For those of you guys who haven't seen my story of how I healed myself through juicing, I will have that posted in the description box below, but juicing is very near and dear to my heart, as I did heal myself after 2 years of being very sick with no answers. So I know there's a lot of debate, but it was my experience and a good one. So I personally feel that there's a lot of health benefits from juicing. So it is something that I'm going to try to include a little bit more in my diet come 2021. And the last one, I'm sure you guys could probably guess it if I asked you, exercise. So I have recently got myself an early Christmas present, which is a Gazelle. It's kind of like a elliptical machine, except it's a little bit more compact, and yeah, I'm really loving it. So I've already started to kind of get on it, even 10 or 15 minutes a day. So I'm trying to transition into exercise, because believe me when I say exercise does not come natural for me. So I'm trying to get a little bit of an early start on that, but it's something that I'm definitely going to continue in 2021, as I have not been exercising all of these months. So I have a treadmill, I now have the Gazelle, I have some free weights. So between those things, exercise is definitely something that I want to kick off 2021 doing, and hope to see it accelerate my weight loss a little bit. And of course, we all know it's just healthy for us. So there you have it. I have spilled the tea on my challenges. I have given you guys my goals for 2021. So I hope after this video, you guys feel like you've had a really well-rounded update with kind of where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm going to be doing. And I hope that you guys are also starting to think about what your goals are going to be for 2021 and do it along with me. If you guys have questions, comments, or even suggestions for some of my challenges that I'm dealing with, I would love if you could leave it in the comments for me. I always check my comments, even if I don't get around to responding to all of them. I read them all. Or you can join me in our Facebook group. Again, the link will be posted in the description, and we can just continue the conversation over there. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. I'm gonna leave it here. As you guys probably know, I'm a chatty Cathy, so don't even get me started. So I hope that all of you guys are staying safe, and I wish you all a happy holiday. And I know things are not quite as normal as they usually are, but there's still so much to be grateful for. So let's just focus on those things. So enjoy your holidays. Start thinking about 2021 and how you want to kick that off. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. We'll chat soon.